Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so game one of the NBA Finals is in the books, 120 to 108. The Boston Celtics get the victory in game one. My predictions are trash as usual, absolute garbage. I thought that I thought the Celtics were gonna lose this game at the Warriors' house, and then I figured if they were gonna win a game in these first two, it would be the second one. But no, that's not what happened. The Boston Celtics proved me wrong once again, and it was done in a very entertaining fashion. First of all, I want to give credit to just about everybody who played tonight because they really did give us a lot to enjoy, a lot to pick apart. Multiple guys did multiple things for the Boston Celtics, particularly helping their team. And as I said at the halftime video, you love what you saw from the Celtics because even though Steph Curry was going off, they were getting a lot of things from other guys. Everyone was contributing to everything for the Celtics. It was like everybody was getting assists, everybody was getting boards, everybody was trying to get to the line and score. And you could just see where they were chipping away. And in my head, I was thinking, and I don't know if I said this in a halftime video, I don't believe I did, but the Golden State Warriors cannot rely on the three-point shot. Even though they are one of the greatest three-point shooting teams, this year's team has done a good job throughout the entire playoffs of getting interior scoring and offensive rebounds to more so be the focus rather than other aspects of their game like three-point shooting. As long as they're continuing to get a healthy dose of inside scoring and second chance points, they're going to beat just about anybody in front of them with their ability to score the ball. But when you're talking about a Boston Celtics team that can defend and switch everything, that have multiple players that can do multiple things from behind the arc as well, that force you to have to defend the behind the arc, you can't have moments where your defense lapses. And that's what happened tonight to the Golden State Warriors. They had defensive lapses. I'm going to tell you what I think happened to the Golden State Warriors. I thought they got away from what worked. And I'm a Laker fan, We spent this whole year giving the entire NBA the understanding and example that going the route of I trust guys to help me today because they did a lot for me 10 years ago, that was not something that worked for us. And that's exactly what the Golden State Warriors tried tonight. With a 10-point lead, they called in somewhere in the second quarter, they put Andre Iguodala in the game, and they left him out there. And that lead disappeared in that moment. Now, Iggy did some good things, made some plays for others, got a couple assists, got a nice little dunk near the end of his, time on the floor. He started to pick it up. But them first 4 minutes while he was out there, he was throwing the ball away, bricking shots, and the defense just was not as big with him on the floor because Kevon Looney was sitting. And they were just a little smaller, and the Boston Celtics were able to take advantage of that greatly while he was out there. And they never looked back. They never looked back. From that moment they had that 10-point lead and put Iggy on the floor, nothing ever went right for the Golden State Warriors after that. I'm not saying Iggy was the reason they lost this game, but I'm saying that putting him in the game was what catapulted the Boston Celtics to the momentum that they had to finish the game off. You cannot take your foot off the gas. Is my problem with the Golden State Warriors. They show me that they believe in themselves a little too much as it pertains to this unit. They think because they've won 1,000,000 championships 1,000,000,000 years ago that this unit can turn it on and turn it off. And they cannot. They've proven that to us against the Memphis Grizzlies. They proved that to us against the Dallas Mavericks when they had a chance to close those teams out and they got blown out. Now, they did come back and win those games after that, which I expect them to come back and take their pound of flesh from the Celtics. But they lost a costly game, and this is the NBA Finals. And you cannot have situations where Steph Curry looks as good as he did and it not have any effect, because that's exactly what happened. In a night where he clearly was looking to get Finals MVP in one game or in one quarter, unfortunately, he took his foot off the gas. And when he finally decided to put it back on the gas, he wasn't as hot no more. He went from 6 of 8 to 7 of 14 real quick from behind the arc, real quick. And it's just like that. It's the Jordan Poole. This is what happens when you play Iguodala. Jordan Poole doesn't get back on the floor soon enough. Andrew Wiggins doesn't get back on the floor soon enough. Otto Porter's not getting back on the floor soon enough, who was hot tonight. You didn't roll with him long enough. He should have shot more tonight. That was a huge mistake not going with Otto Porter. Y'all went with Iguodala for some nostalgic, rah-rah bull crap reason, and it cost you just like it cost the Lakers doing stuff that way. It cost you. You would think we would have taught y'all the lesson, but nobody learns a lesson, and I've been screaming it all year long, and I'm going to continue to scream it. I like vets. I respect vets, but this is a young man's league, and you cannot get away with having situations where you're running vets against young guys in pressure situations. They're going to win. The young guys are going to take advantage of the fact that they got that geezer on the floor that they can run past, and that's exactly what they did. They were able to work the ball around because that defensive liability was on the floor, and in that small amount of time where he was on the floor, they were able to take care of that lead. They took care of it. Derek White was phenomenal tonight, off of the bench, hitting shots left and right, picking up where he left off in the previous series. You got to give credit as well to Marcus Smart, who was extremely efficient. 7 of 11 tonight, 18 points, like what I saw from him. Jaylen Brown had an excellent plus-minus despite having a very inefficient basketball game. I think it really came down to him playing excellent defense and getting assists here and there and making sure that he was a part of good team play. And the Boston Celtics had 33 assists as a team. They worked together throughout. They didn't let nothing deter them. Not the score, not the crowd, nothing. They were going to work their plan and see where it landed them. They didn't get away from nothing. They ran the same, route. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that they ran the same stuff, but they stuck to what worked. They know who they play that works for them. They ain't going to bring a guy that they haven't used in freaking 2 months, who's coming off an injury and 106 years old, to come in and play key moments in a basketball game. What kind of stupid. I like Steve Kerr so much. Because I've watched how he handles things both on and off the court. I want to speak of him with reverence and respect. But that was a horrible decision, man. Horrible. And I said it in the pregame videos. I said it in multiple pregame videos about this series. Do not play that man. It ain't personal. Iggy can do good things, but he is going to be a massive liability on both sides of the floor in this series. Because he has not played basketball at all in these playoffs. He's coming off the injury, as I've already said. He's not particularly a great shooter to begin with, even though he's hit some amazing clutch shots in his career that I've seen him do firsthand from behind the arc. But he's not a great shooter, just in general. And he's going to be a step slow because he's older, man. Going up against a young Boston Celtic team that don't have no old guys. The only guy down there is older is what? Al Horford? And you saw what he did to y'all tonight. He was the reason you lost. Al Horford was unbelievable tonight. Hit a bunch of three-point shots, 26 points, defensive plays, offensive plays. I told y'all, pay attention to Al Horford. Because if the Boston Celtics is going to win the series, he's going to have a lot to do with it. A whole damn lot to do with it. And this is exactly what we saw. That's what I'm telling you. I've been waiting for this particular matchup between him and Draymond Green for about a week and a half now. Even though I didn't want to see the Celtics here, I knew if the Celtics were here and the Warriors were here, I would be very happy to see those two go at it. Al Horford took game one for sure. There wasn't no question about who played better between the two of them, because Draymond did not have that kind of night tonight. In fact, I would argue he was a big liability for them scoring the ball. I think he was 2 of 14. I was hoping he would get it together. It never came together. He was playing too fast out there. It seemed like he was rushing. I understand he was trying to keep pace out there, but some of the stuff he was doing, he was just moving too fast. And I noticed that the jitters were real with him tonight. And he's going to have to shore that up. Because if he's a scoring liability, Boston Celtics are showing us right now that they're not worried about scoring the basketball against the Golden State Warriors defense. They've already seen better defenses in these playoffs. You are not the toughest defense they've seen. They are most definitely the toughest defense you've seen. So now I came into this series wondering if they could score with the Golden State Warriors. Now I'm wondering if the Golden State Warriors can defend them. Because what I saw was a bad night shooting the ball from Jason Tatum and a Boston Celtics win. That is a very bad sign for the Golden State Warriors. Let me tell you. That is a horrible sign for the Golden State Warriors. And let me give Jason Tatum all his credit. Because he did exactly what I want to see Jason Tatum do when he's having an off-shooting night. Everything that I've been talking about in regards to Jason Tatum, when he's not shooting well and when he's having scoring droughts, the things that I want to see him do are the things that he did tonight. Look to pass the rock, man. Sometimes the jump shot just ain't gonna fall. But you can do other things with his all-around game. He can do other things that can help his team, and he did those things tonight. He played defense. He made sure the assist column was filled up real nice. And even though he had 12 points, he had plus 13. So that's superstar stuff right there. If a guy's going to go 4 for 17, 13 assists is what I need to see from him. Jaylen Brown had an amazing plus minus. I think I've already mentioned that. Even though he shot a lot of shots that didn't fall, him attacking and continuing to be relentless ultimately opened up things for other people. And I think that that's a recipe for success. I did see Wiggins have some good defensive moves against him, good defensive sequences in that first half. So I think that will continue to be something to keep an eye on. But I like what I saw from Jaylen Brown in terms of aggression. He just needs to not try to shoot so many threes. He gave a lot of possessions away shooting threes in that first half. And it was a reason why I think Golden State was able to get that lead that they had. So Grant Williams, surprisingly quiet in the box score. In fact, he was much louder on the court than he was in the box score. You look at it and you say he had like 12 minutes of 0 for 3. The loudest 12 minutes 0 for 3 I've ever seen. So what I do like is that they were able to buy him some rest tonight. For whatever it's worth, he got rest. It didn't look like he did because he was all over the place, but he didn't play that full game. And I think that if you're going to take something away from having Iguodala out there, and that's because I've bashed it to no end, I guess what you can say is they bought themselves some rest for other guys. So now you can say that in game one, Jordan Poole didn't run himself into the ground, Klay Thompson didn't run himself into the ground, this type of thing. So, guys will be fresh as the series progresses, and I think that's a pretty good thing. But I do believe that substitution actually ultimately is the catalyst for the loss. You just cannot get away with that. This is not 2013. This is not. I don't care that he won an NBA Finals MVP back in the day. I don't care. This is 2022, man. Like that's why you lost, Golden State. Period. That's why you lost. I know it's a lot of other things, including the shooting, the absolutely stellar shooting of the Boston Celtics in that second half. 50% from the field, 53% from behind the arc. That's stellar, man. Stellar. That's a big reason why you lost. Like I said, defensive issues for the Golden State Warriors. You saw good defensive sequences until they put Iggy on the floor. Simple as that. I ain't kidding either. And I need to see more from Kevon Looney. This was a bad game for him. I'm sorry. We've been singing his praises, but this was a bad game for Kevon Looney. He looked slow from the start. He did not contribute enough in all of the ways that he usually does. If he's not going to be able to contribute more than he did tonight, and he's just a guy, Al Horford's going crazy, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. So if they need to get him right, and right now, because I don't think they can win this series if he's not the person he was in these previous two. If I'm thinking of something else, I want to turn my attention to the coaches, because I think Ime Udoka is continuing to build upon his legacy as one of the great coaches in this league, despite this literally being his rookie season. I don't know that there are 5 coaches in the league better than him right now. I don't know that. We might be looking at the next great coach in this league, because what we saw tonight was nothing but superb. The things that he was doing, the numbers he was calling, what his team was able to withstand in terms of Steph Curry and Otto Porter in that first half and the three-point shooting barrage that the Golden State Warriors put on them. Most teams go to sleep after that. It's night time. Boston Celtics ain't up for all that. Boston Celtics don't care about none of that. They've been through too much in these playoffs alone to roll over to anything that the Golden State Warriors got going on, and that's what I was saying. If the Golden State Warriors don't look at this team like they're either LeBron and the Cavs or Toronto with Kawhi, they're cheating themselves and they're about to lose another series. Because Boston may be better than all of those teams. Seriously. They may be better than all of those teams. Because they play better defense than all of them teams. So I would caution, very much caution the Golden State Warriors to look at game 2 like it's game 7. Because I don't think you can win 4 straight games against this Boston Celtics team. And that's exactly what you're going to need to do if you drop 2 in a row. As simple as that. So, that Iggy substitution, we're going to remember it. We're going to remember it. Because it cost them, in theory, home court advantage. I know it's just one game. We're not going to overreact to one game. But when you have the type of momentum that the Golden State Warriors did, the type of crowd energy that they had in that first half, and they choke away the lead, and they choke away a game, rather, to this degree, while Jason Tatum ain't scoring well and Jaylen Brown ain't scoring like that, you got Derek White, a player who usually struggles going off. You got Al Horford, who you know if you give him too much comfort, he going to turn back into Atlanta Al Horford and start doing things like that again. And this is exactly what you saw. And Marcus Smart out there hitting shots, of whom doesn't usually score efficiently from game to game to game, even though he's been very efficient in these playoffs, honestly. But historically, the people that are not supposed to beat you, Golden State. You didn't even get beat by the people that are going to be kicking your butt going forward. This is a horrible, horrible way to start the series. I can't stress it enough. It's one of the worst ways to start imaginable. Because you had all the momentum. The whole building was at its peak at one point in this game. And they walked away losers. That's just crazy. A 40-point quarter by the Boston Celtics in the fourth quarter. Let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. 40 points scored by a team, the Boston Celtics, of whom is already the best defensive team in the league. It's just one game. I'm telling myself it's just one game. It's a filler game. I told myself it's a feel-out game. As I told you all, we're not going to take too much from this, even if it's a blowout or if it's a loss by 5, as I said. It's just going to give you data from which to adjust from. So that's what I'm going to say here now. I'm hopeful that Steve Kerr, as somebody who's obviously going for the Warriors, will make the adjustments necessary to shore up a few things. One being perimeter defense. If you can't guard the perimeter a bit better and you let the Boston Celtics look like another version of the Golden State Warriors, the Boston Celtics will win the series. It ain't hard to tell. They can hit shots. If you force them to hit the 3, they've proven all playoffs long, they'll hit it. Ask Giannis. He'll let you know. So this is one of those situations where I'm looking at the Boston Celtics. I feel real good about them. If I'm a Boston Celtics fan, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. The Golden State Warriors, I feel like they gave me their best punch today, to be completely honest with you. Now, I know that that's not actually the case, but if you're the Boston Celtics, you have so much confidence in your defense, and you clearly just seen you could score 120 points on them, and they home after they was up. Why do I have anything to worry about? Why am I worried about some Golden State ghost or some mantra that is supposed to exist when I just beat the hell out of it? Just gonna do it 3 more times and that's it. That's how I'm looking at it. If I'm in that Boston locker room, give me a good night's rest, and I'm gonna come out here and beat them again. And if I'm the Golden State Warriors, you need to understand what just got you beat. Cliche nonsense that the Boston Celtics ain't got nothing to do with. They not having no parts of that. They're in the present. They're playing in 2022. Get out the past. Simple as that. Klay Thompson, you're going to be a part of that. 18 points tonight, that's not the Klay I need, man. This is the same Klay that we've had problems with all playoffs long. And I got a lot of love for Klay. And at any given moment, like I said, he's a dangerous player, whether he's hot or not. But I need that to be Otto Porter on a night like tonight. I need that to be Jordan Poole when he's scoring better, even though he didn't have it going. I need it to be Andrew Wiggins because he was having a good night and it was wasted. Simple as that. It was a wasted night. Andrew Wiggins' minutes should have been up. Those 12 minutes that Wiggy had, they should have been dispersed between those 3 players. And we all know it. So, yeah, were there some players who were cold tonight for the Golden State Warriors? Yeah, it was a few guys who didn't hit no shots, and it's a big problem. Big problem. They need to shore it up, particularly those bigs, Draymond and Kevon. If you guys can't play better than you did tonight, Boston's going to win. Rebounding, Boston, kudos to y'all. Y'all kept up with them. 39 even. That is major. As long as the Boston Celtics are keeping up rebounding the ball with the Golden State Warriors, they're going to win the series once again. I'm telling you. So it's a lot pointing that way right now. It's going to be on Steve Kerr to get his act together. Tell Iguodala thank you. I love you for what you've done for us. We're gonna make sure you get a ring here by making sure that we play everybody who can help us do that. You can't do it. You can't do it. You just can't. We'll play you in garbage time. We'll play you in key moments. But this what we saw tonight, it can't happen no more. That cannot happen again. And as you can see, I'm speaking with a certain tone because I'm a Laker fan. I'm very invested in this. I'm very invested in this. Golden State Warriors pissed me off tonight, for real. This is not minor. So the Boston Celtics are 3 games away from an NBA championship. With all the momentum and all the confidence. And it's up to the Golden State Warriors to respond. On their home floor. If they don't come back and play tougher against one of the toughest teams ever assembled, arguably, in that Boston Celtics squad, they're going to go home early. It ain't going to be no 7-game series like I predicted. This was absolutely unacceptable. And that's what I have to say about it. Shout out to Derek White, Marcus Smart, and Al Horford. Because I loved what I saw from those Boston Celtics players. They went hard tonight. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, also. Even though they didn't have their most efficient night, they helped their team. And they allowed the hot hands to shoot the ball. Even though I'd say Jaylen Brown shot a little too much for my liking, I think those attempts were necessary. It keeps him a threat. And it allowed Jason Tatum to not have to hoist too many shots in game 1. Fresher legs for him later on, I believe. More to give on the defensive end as well. So, Boston, Ime Udoka, congratulations. You guys have made this NBA Finals game a memorable one. This Laker fan is very salty, but I'm the right kind of mind to just kind of be able to separate that and say, yo, that was good basketball I saw from a very, very worthy basketball team. My name is BDF44. I thank y'all for watching.